Yeah, actually, he has a book. He has a couple books. My Awakening, A Path to Racial Understanding, The Secret Behind Communism, and Jewish Supremacism, My Awakening on the Jewish Question.
The Truth About the Goblins of Gringotts. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've seen
it. He has multiple.
Understanding Gringotts.
Gringot Goblins.
New book from,
question mark.
New book from David Duke. Me and my friend JK. And it's just like him standing Photoshop.
I'm told, I haven't read it, but Kyle's
sure, it's amazing.
Expert. Harry Potter did a good job of making movies out of the books. They're pretty loyal, and there aren't many.
Oh, they cut out. All right, so huge. Those books are big, like 800 pages plus. I can't remember exactly, but there's big parts in some of the books early on where we just play Quidditch. You know, and they're describing how it's basically describing how a soccer game is going. And then Jimmy had the ball and he threw it to Timmy, and Timmy ducked. Lots of that would go on for on and on and on. So once later on, they cut most of that out, and they were really loyal to the books. I thought they did a great job. I love the books. I've read through them twice now. I think once as a kid and then once in prison. And
I read them when I was like that.
I've watched the movies a couple times too. And
I agree with you. I think they did a phenomenal job. As far as book to movie goes, I think Harry Potter is one of the best ones. They had to leave a few things out for the final movies, of course. But overall, good compromise.
I cried at the end of the 7th Harry Potter movie when spoiler alert, when Dobby dies.
That was so
when Dobby
sad.
Jumps in front of the blade and gives his life, and they get through the port key or whatever to the beach, and Dobby's like, "Is Master okay? Did I take the knife good?" or whatever he said. It's just like super pitiful. And
I hated that. There is a magic solution for everything until little low caste Dobby gets hurt, and suddenly Medicaid isn't available, and they can't spare their wizarding skills on this little guy, and so they're like, "Thank you so much," letting him bleed out on a beach. I don't even think they bury him. I think they eat him.
They did bury him.
Not only did they bury him,
it's despicable.
No,
it's despicable. They eat him there on the beach.
So it's a luau. It's a luau. They have him on a spit.
Hot rocks.
Do I taste
fire
good
dancing
for you, master?
This boy.
Did Dobby have powers? I thought Dobby was really powerful.
So
the
deal is that the house elf magic doesn't have to obey the same rules as like wizard magic. It has some workarounds about how he can do certain things. But yeah, he's got some little magic.
But it does have also limits to its power as well. Like who's in charge of him. He can't use it on them, for example, but it's different set of rules.
But you carry that time turner with you, and Dobby's fine.
All right, well, maybe so. Chill out. But maybe if we get on the Eagles, we can get this knocked out in one book instead of 3. Stop picking apart a fucking wonderful, not trilogy, a septilogy?
I don't know. It just seems to me like
saga, probably.
Like Tolkien got a lot more done in less books, if you're going to look at it that way.
I don't think so. Harry saved the day not once or twice or 3 times, but 7 fucking times.
In 100 years, which one do you think will be looked at as a wildly influential literature from Western civilization, and which one will be a very popular children's show?
I think they'll start saying that the orcs were fucking Jews, and they're gonna Me Too Tolkien, and he'll be blacklisted and burned. And meanwhile, my book will live on.
Wait, isn't the Harry Potter book like the one that got in trouble for like making like little goblins running banks? Yeah,
that's why I said it. It's intentionally that way. Yeah.
Okay.
They literally made the bank. They made the bankers fucking Jews. They really did. They were like, oh yeah, these are what do they call them? Is it trolls?
So many jokes.
Fucking trolls or something?
The Goblin Bank?
Goblins. Oh, they call them goblins, I think. Is it
the Gringo Goblins?
The Gringotts. So Gringotts is the banking. So Gringotts is the only
bank. Silent.
Stick with me here. So Gringotts is the only bank in like the Harry Potter world. Like if you've got money, that's where it is. And if
it's in Gringotts.
And when you go in there, you have to deal with the goblins, and they're these long, crooked noses, and they're very particular about like doing business with them, and it's the whole thing. You got to go through them.
Dude, looking
Tell
back,
me a Gringotts goblin. That's the head goblin, Mr. Morenstein. He's
I watched you remember it was within the last year that I watched these movies for the first time, like as a 30-year-old man. Yeah. And when the banking scene came up and these Nazi-esque caricatures come on screen, I'm like, it is wild that people were rolling with this. like she was just sitting there writing it, and she's like, a banking race. What fantasy will I come up with
for the people that run the bank?
Short, big nose, goblin, and then some editor read that and was like, fucking
seal of approval.
Aces, bro.
Scholastic seal of approval.
Yeah,
it actually gets worse in the later books. They have to make a deal with a goblin to go into the bank. Spoilers again here, to break into that bank. And he's trying to screw them over. He's suspicious.
He goes back on his word.
He's double dealing. Yeah, he's a con artist.
He turns the tables on him, and tries to. He's a trickster. Yeah.
There's no redemption for the goblins in Harry Potter. It's a good point.
Do they deserve redemption? They don't seem very helpful to the magicking world.
They right? They're handling the gold.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Harry had that giant pile of gold in there for like his entire life, and every coin was there, right, when he went to check on it. So at least the goblins didn't.
That's only because the goblins at Gringotts can lend out 10 times as much as he has in his little safe, right? Using that as collateral.
What are you, a commie?
Our gold, comrade.
That is how the banking system works.
Yes. They just wanted to make more wizardry. Wait, so do the goblins have powers the way the elves do? Or not?
I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I don't remember.
Then it's really just a matter of self-control on the wizarding world's part for not robbing them.
I think their perk, if I'm not mistaken, which is revealed in that same thing where he betrays them, is that they're really good at smithing crazy weapons that are like not possible to be anymore.
Yeah, they had the goblin made. Oh yeah, that was
the goblin made metal.
So like a lot of the
that's part of why he betrayed them.
A lot of the like really important items in that universe are goblin made, and I think there's a deal where like the goblins are never supposed to sell any of their fine wares to the wizard's world. They're supposed to keep them within only do
goblin world,
goblin, and
oh shit.
And so any goblin ware that's out there in the possession of a wizard, goblins just consider that to be stolen property, because there's no reason for a goblin made sword or a goblin made crown to even exist as property of a non-goblin.
Even if they give you money for it, they consider it a rental. When you die or the human's lifespan ends, the item's supposed to come back.
Yeah, the goblins live forever.
And
longer.
Well, they live a long fucking time,
Are there any immortal races in Harry Potter?
Well, see, that's what Harry Potter's all about. Voldemort wants to live forever.
That's what he's trying to do through magic.
But he didn't. He lost. So there is no immortal like elf in Lord of the Rings.
There was not
that I can recall.
No, there's some ways for people to live for really, really long periods of time, though.
The Dementors, maybe, because they're just demons, so they're probably always around.
They don't really get into the lifespan of the Dementors.
Yeah, they didn't really talk about lifespans of a lot of the creatures that I remember.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. I think he's mocking me.
No, I'm just taking a potential 2-minute conversation and grinding it into a 20-minute paste.
I don't know why he's questioning me about the lore right now, but it can't be interest.
But it can't be genuine interest. That's like when
whatever
Kyle
it is, he
starts asking me about if Kyle's ever like, so who's leading the NHL in scoring? I'm like, you bastard! I'm not telling you that because there's a reason you want to know. Speaking of, did he write a book?
I'm sure he did.
I just guess he did.
Most of them did.
I mean, why wouldn't he? He was a really influential racist, for a long time.
Dude, he has his masters in racism.
Yeah. Actually, he has a book. He has a couple books. My Awakening, A Path to Racial Understanding, The Secret Behind Communism, and Jewish Supremacism. My Awakening on the Jewish Question.
The truth about the goblins of Gringotts. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've seen
He has multiple.
Understanding Gringotts.
Gringotts goblins.
New book from David Duke. Me and my friend JK. And it's just like him standing Photoshop.